Part 4, Conquest and Chaos, Joshua, Ruth. From a band of wandering refugees to a nation of warriors, followed by a dark wilderness of the soul, it's a period of high-stakes battles and heartbreaking moral failures. Moses, the greatest leader Israel had ever known, is dead. Behind the people lies 40 years of sand and wandering. In front of them lies the promised land. But there's a problem. It's already inhabited by powerful kingdoms and fortified cities. To take the land, they don't need a philosopher or a priest. They need a general. Joshua was a man of steel and faith. God's command to him was simple: be strong and courageous. Just like the Red Sea for their fathers, the Jordan River miraculously stops flowing, allowing the nation to cross on dry land. But then they faced Jericho, a city of legend with walls so thick that houses were built inside them. God's battle plan was unconventional. No battering rams, no siege towers, just walking. On the seventh day, after 7 laps, the silence is shattered by a roar from the people and a blast of the trumpets. The walls didn't just fall, they leveled. Jericho was the first of many victories. Under Joshua, the tribes of Israel carved out a home, finally settling into the land promised to Abraham centuries before. But after Joshua died, the nation lost its way. They forgot the God who rescued them and began to worship the local idols of Canaan. This began the darkest period in Israel's history, the era of the Judges. It was a death spiral that repeated for over 300 years. It followed a chillingly predictable cycle. Sin. Israel abandons God for idols. Oppression. God allows a foreign nation to conquer them. Cry. In their misery, Israel cries out for help. Deliverance. God raises up a judge, a charismatic leader to save them. Rest. The land has peace until the judge dies and the cycle starts over. We see leaders like Deborah, the prophetess, who led a counterattack against iron chariots, and Gideon, who defeated an army of thousands with just 300 men and clay jars. Perhaps the most famous and most flawed judge was Samson, gifted with supernatural strength from a Nazarite vow. He was a one-man army against the Philistines. But Samson's strength was in his hair, while his weakness was in his heart. Betrayed by Delilah and blinded by his enemies, Samson becomes a mocking stock in the temple of the god Dagon. In his final moment, he prays for strength. One last time. Samson killed more in his death than he did in his life. He was a picture of Israel, great potential, but blinded by their own desires. In the middle of the chaos and blood of the judges, there is a quiet story, a hidden gem. It starts with a famine and a funeral. A woman named Naomi loses her husband and both sons in the foreign land of Moab. She decides to return to Israel, bitter and empty. But her Moabite daughter-in-law, Ruth, refuses to leave her side.
Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God.
Ruth, a penniless foreigner, finds favor in the fields of a wealthy man named Boaz. In a beautiful act of redemption, Boaz marries Ruth, bringing this foreign woman into the family of Israel. Why does this little story matter? Because Ruth and Boaz had a son who had a son who had a son named David, the future king of Israel. The book of Judges ends with a haunting line. In those days Israel had no king. Everyone did as they saw fit. But the book of Ruth reminds us that even in the darkest, most chaotic times, God is working behind the scenes. He is weaving a lineage. He is preparing a king. Join us for Part 5, The Rise of the Kingdom, as the era of the judges ends and the crown is finally placed on the head of a king. Thank you for watching.